Welcome to SA Rugby Legends TV. Many rugby players are still competitive long after they've hung up their boots, and one event tested former Springbok players to the max recently. John Smit, Butch James and Bob Skinstad would come up against other athletes who enjoy the extreme side of life. Each sportsman would be tested way past their comfort zones.
The end of July, and it's an absolutely beautiful day here in Jeffreys Bay. Today, the start of the first ever Oakley crossover. So what is it all about? Well, very simple really. 12 of South Africa's premier athletes from different sporting codes all come together and take each other on over 3 different sporting disciplines. The first one here this morning, the mountain bike discipline. 15 kilometers of mountain biking through the Jeffreys Bay area. This afternoon, the 12 athletes go across to the St. Francis Links, where they will play 9 holes of golf. And then tomorrow, it's down to the surfing contest, where 3 heats of 4 athletes will go head to head to determine who is the best Oakley crossover athlete over the next 2 days. John Smit, Bob Skinstad, Butch James, they're going to be holding up the flag for the rugby players. We've got David Miller in, and the cricket star just back from Sri Lanka. He's in phenomenal form at the moment. Coming in early this morning as well from Italy, Greg Minnaar, your 3 times downhill world champion. Reynard Tissink, the triathlete on a mission and an incredible athlete across all disciplines. Watch out too for the mountain bike specialist Kevin Evans, and going to be really exciting to see how these guys all come together over the next 2 days as we look at the first ever Oakley crossover. 2, 1, go! Of course, this 15-kilometer mountain bike, starting off with quite a bit of banter early on, the usual suspects all at the front of the peloton, but you can well imagine that you've got 12 of the world's best athletes here, and at any given moment things are going to explode. Greg Minnaar is going to be looking to see what Kevin Evans is up to. You're going to have Reynard Tissink there, who's a little bit of an unknown. He's incredibly strong and incredibly fast, and he can certainly hold his own on the mountain bike. Butch James and John Smit, now they've been cycling and they really seem to be getting the hang of it. So I've got to tell you, it's going to be very messy out there. Only time will tell, and let's find out who's going to be crowned the first champion here at the mountain bike event.
Yeah, it was good fun to be out there. It's great to be riding behind guys like Greg, to see how good they are and to be able to ride alongside them.
You know, I wasn't going to win this race fairly, so, you know, every time we got to hill, I'd just start chatting to Kevin, so he felt polite that he couldn't really drop me on the climb, and I'd be gasping for air trying to chat to him. We came in past McDonald's, I ran him a bit wide, got on the gas, hopped through the traffic circle, almost slammed the Jeep, but I made it across the line first, you know. It was going to be tough, but it wasn't going to be won fairly.
Trail athlete Raymond Tissink coming third, with Butch James being the first rugby legend through the gate.
Any sort of event like this where you get to rub shoulders with other sporting people from South Africa is awesome. So to get to meet some new guys and some new faces is what sport's all about.
It was also time to catch up after the first event.
You know, it's so funny, you know, we're all sportsmen and we're all very passionate about our own sports, but we can all merge together to have some fun in different disciplines, and I think it's such a unique event, and you know, the guys really had fun out there when we were cruising in the beginning before the racing got serious. It was good fun chatting to the guys. You know, I think the golf's going to be pretty good fun, and I think tonight as well, I think it will continue into the evening. So, you know, although we're from different backgrounds of sport, I think we'll merge once to have a really good event like this.
And then it was on to golf.
Certainly is testing one's skills from a mountain bike in the morning to 18 par 3s. You can see I'm well placed here. I've got 4 clubs and a putter, so if there's anything longer than 180 meters, I've got trouble.
Soldier Boy, John and Geordie Smith would be hoping to close the gap in this event and catch up with Tissink, James and Evans, who creamed the mountain bike first leg.
So here we are, the second leg of the Oakley crossover here at the beautiful St. Francis Link golf course. Peachy conditions, pretty much you can't get better weather conditions than this for golf. Behind me, the final 4 ball of the day, and that of course Greg Minnaar, Kevin Evans, Bob Skinstad and Ryan O'Connor, and they're chasing who's just gone through here, a rampant Butch James, doing really well at the moment. Reynard Tissink with him as well, David Miller and of course Ryan Sands. It seems that Tissink is holding up the fort there and just gone off with a nice birdie here on the 7th. But as you can hear, it's dangerous all round. Up front though, Johnny Smit in fine form with Geordie Smith, of course, the world-renowned surfer, and they seem to be putting a good round together. Rowan de Smet, of course, the professional golfer in the field and the man on point here for this section of the Oakley crossover, and the guys seem to be putting together a decent round up front. Jordy Smith a bit all over the place, the golf nonetheless quite consistent.
John Smit with a light touch, using the grain to work the ball in from the right for a birdie to keep his efforts alive, knowing that surfing wasn't his strong point. Someone, however, was on hand to give him a few tips a little later.
Yeah, it's all about staying centered. You know, when he's paddling, keep the feet together, stay centered on the stringer of the board, and you know, length of ride I think is the key. All right, good luck to Smitty and all the rugby players. Hope you enjoy it down at J-Bay.
Yeah, you know, for tomorrow, I guess, yeah, you know, when I get down there, I'll definitely show him a couple of tips and help him out a bunch, as he did today for me.
It's day 2 of the Oakley crossover, the final event in this trilogy of events brought to you by the guys from Oakley, and it is Butch James and Reynard Tissing head to head at the moment, tie on top of the leaderboard. Kevin Evans, the little man from Plettenberg Bay, the mountain bike specialist, in 3rd place at the moment. They've got 3 heats of 30 minutes each, the top 2 from each heat going into the finals here this afternoon. Who is going to take the title of the inaugural Oakley crossover?
John was remembering a few tips from the night before.
I think one of the sportsmen that I've always looked towards is Kelly Slater. I mean, he's 42, came into this event ranked 3rd in the world at 42. He's just an ultimate professional and still going strong. And yeah, he told me to keep my legs in, paddle hard and pray, you know. So some sound advice from a 11-time world champion. So I've been pretty fortunate to meet him and get some advice.
You know, for me, it's such an enlightening experience to see the guys that come into the world downhill, mountain bike champion, and we've got an EFC fighting champion, other rugby guys, other cricketers, etc. No, my surfing is limited. I've sort of got the longboard out and been waxing it up, and I've got all the gear, but no idea. I haven't had this much fun for ages.
It's nice to be up there and competing, but yeah, I think there's a few of us in the race now to end up the champ, so yeah, it'll be an interesting final.
The surfing really good all day. Jordy Smith just proving why he's one of the world's best and taking home the win with a perfect 2 10s on the scorecard. Shark boy Butch James and the man from Cape Town, Bob Skinstad, the rugby legends, proving themselves quite capable in these surfing conditions, making it through to the final as well with Ryan Sands and Reynard Tissing. But Jordy Smith taking the win. We're going to have to wait for the final results. Up for the overall Oakley crossover title though is Butch James, Reynard Tissing and Greg Minnar could be in with a shout after a fantastic performance on the surfboard here this afternoon.
At prize giving, nobody was a clear favourite. It was a tight event to call.
Winner of the 2014 Oakley crossover here at Jeffreys Bay. Give it up for Butch James. Second place to Reynard Tissing. There we go. Up your companies, Rainy. Up your companies, Butch. Let's get
In the end, it was only half a point that made the difference between 1st and 2nd place.
It's always been a dream of mine to have an event like this. In the end, overall, it was Reynard and Butch who actually tie going into the final, and they over the past 2 sporting disciplines, and all they had to do, one had to finish ahead of the other one in the surf, which Butch ended up pipping Reynard at the post, which is phenomenal, and Greg Minnar 3rd overall as well.
Yeah, it was good fun as well to be able to come here to J-Bay. That's I think every surfer's dream to surf here, and for us to be able to do it today has been awesome.
We look forward to 2015.